Hi, my name's Camilo. I'm a filmmaker here in Colorado. I have a company called Connecta. We do a bunch of commercials, different kind of video projects, and one of them I wanted to talk about and kind of let you know our strategies about is the 15-second commercial. These are becoming more and more popular, especially because this day and age we just don't have the attention span. And as a filmmaker, as someone producing commercials, they can be challenging. You know, if you're used to living in the world where you can do a 2-minute corporate video or a 57-second commercial for Instagram or something, it's a little different to condense all of that down into 15 seconds and to get something coherent.
Celebrate your 4th of July at Bojo's Longmont for our fireworks watch party. Enjoy live music and games, local beers on tap, and of course our legendary mountain pies. Experience the best fireworks view in Longmont from our rooftop patio. Bojo's Colorado-style pizza.
So the big thing that 15-second commercials do is they're pushed on by a lot of broadcasting cable companies. So companies that are still doing kind of traditional ads, to get a cheaper ad and more commercial runs is to do a 15-second spot for broadcast or cable. And these spots, I'm sure you've seen some of the, some terrible, ones where it's like a used car dealership or something like that. It's an affordable way to do broadcast, and these can also be repurposed for Instagram and Facebook, but it kind of puts you in a position where you think you have 15 seconds to explain something clearly and to grab the audience attention and to move that. And it can be a challenge. And so what I wanted to talk about is kind of pre-production, our strategies, then actually the shooting and what you're trying to go for. That 15-second drone shot just won't work for a 15-second commercial. And then post-production. The 15-second spot has to have a clear message. And a lot of companies, when they're all of a sudden buying airtime, and whether it's 15 seconds or 30 seconds, they think they have to cram everything they can in those 30 seconds or 15 seconds. But you really have time in a 15-second spot for one clear message. That's it, just one message, one activity, one thing. And that should be decided on before you shoot anything, before you do anything in the pre-production phase. You really have to talk to the client about what that one key message is. It's easy to have creep and other ideas come in, but you just do not have the time to land that in 15 seconds. And sometimes, I end up pushing back on clients when they try to use a couple more things, or they're saying they have the clear offer for one thing, but then at the end they want to add something else during the title card. And it's just, don't do it. Think of that one key message you want to say. For the example we have, it's patio time and it's restaurant season. It's summer when restaurants are busy and they want to show off their patios and they want people to come out to them. That's the message. That's the simple 15-second message is come enjoy our patio. It can't be anything more like that. So let's talk about pre-production from one of these 15-second spots. Really work with your client to figure out tone of the spot. That's super important, is what is the tone of this, and when someone says they're doing some high-end restaurant or something like that and they want the tone to be super professional, just does the tone match that 15 seconds? And it could be very specific for that 15 seconds, but just make sure you're completely aligned on tone, and that'll affect how you shoot, how you light, how you make the product or the service appear. You can't go into creating a spot without a script. There needs to be a script of the voiceover and a basic shot list before you start production. And a voiceover needs to be super clear, again, what the message is, and it has to fit that 15-second spot, and it can't be winged. You can't come in after the fact and try to get a voiceover done for this, just because that time constraint. You need to set that first. Same with pre-production, is you need to align your talent and make sure that you have everything you need, because you're trying to get such concise shots. For a 15-second spot with a clear message, it has to be scripted beforehand and decided beforehand. And that pre-production, the shot list, getting all your ideas and the client's ideas down is super, super critical. Think of a 15-second spot, you know, if they had a bumper card for 2.5 seconds, you have 12.5 seconds to play and create some shots. And you can't do, you know, no matter if the client wants you to have 60 shots in that 12.5 seconds, you just don't have the time for that. And so defining those shots clearly beforehand and letting the client know what you can and cannot do. I had a customer who wanted a really cool drone shot of the business and the building and moving into it, and we shot one, but it couldn't fit in the commercial. You know, that cool slider shot or that cool move, or the speed ramps that are so trendy right now, you just don't have time for that much in a 15-second spot. And align with your client, make sure that they know exactly what you're gonna be doing. So for me, for a spot like this, we'll go in, you know, usually for 45 hours, go into a place, have our talent set up. We usually have the voiceover, the script done before. We have a shot list done. Oftentimes, just so it's cost effective, you're shooting multiple spots at once or kind of working toward multiple spots at once. We often will do stills of the food since everything's lit and nicely. We'll do a little bonus for the customer and let them have stills. But shooting is not a lot of time. You got 12.5 seconds, you know, that you're trying to land an idea. Have a concise shot list and concise movements of the camera so that you can have that clear message, so that you can land a shot, so to speak, in 3 to 4 seconds instead of, you know, having a shot take 12 seconds or 30 seconds, you know, or you know, kind of that more comfortable zone. You need to shoot for those kind of moments. Don't shoot anything that's going to take you a long time to explain. These dramatic reveals, things like you know, very, very intricate shots. You just don't have time for it. And be super deliberate about what you're trying to capture. You know, whether it's a person, whether it's the product, be deliberate about what specific thing you're trying to shoot. This is a 15-second spot that I recently did for a pizza place, and what I want you to see is how quickly the shots happen and how little time you have to make sure that this pieces, they're going for a summer menu, showing some new items, being very quick on that, and that there's a specific piece, right? And then I want to look at the timeline, right? So here's an opening drone shot that you have that goes on for just over a second, right? Just to land the location, get the logo in, get them there. And I'm sure you guys can see this is probably a beautiful shot, right? But I can get, you know, you can get just a slice of that shot. The next shot, you know, is just food, and you're showing food. It's food on top of food, so there's nothing jarring or no jarring changes. You have another drone shot and a close-up and a end title card, right? So super simple, clear message. So I basically picked the best shots for my own use, but also for the client to kind of review and see which shots they like, and it gives them the ability to kind of know what choices they have when they enter them. But pretty simple shots of food, plating, different things. We were very specific what we were trying to get because, again, it was just these summer favorites. I do have some action shots, and I like including those when I can, just because they can really give the shot movement instead of being just something plated and on a table. So this is mostly food. We do some action shots. Like here's a, you know, macro shot of honey. Missed the shot of the bottle, but you know, not always perfect. And then we went and shot the talent. And the talent was, you know, the talent was the restaurant staff who had the day off, came in, had some beer and pizza on the client. came in and just had a good time and pretended they were customers. This is preferable when the client can provide talent, or if they contract us to provide talent. But sometimes we will go in and shoot something with just the general public, and again then it's just about approaching the tables, making sure they're comfortable being shot, and most people, for a well-beloved restaurant like this, most people are super happy to be in the available for the production or in the production. And here, if you see with the below, this is how the script was. How the script was, we'd have one of the drone shots or one of the beginning shots that we were going to use. Based on the feedback of the client, it kept changing. So we opened with this shot, but they thought the patios looked too empty. So we also actually shot in the script for to have the food specials be the anchor and the attention grabber, but in the end we decided that the best course was the night shot. You can see I'm trying to go for those the specific moments, being super concise so I can use it and drop it in. And the benefit of having all the extra footage is that we often will cut a 57-second commercial for social, cut something for longer, we'll piece it together or use the footage for another event. But this is how it goes. I want to show you this kid. It's a great moment. Happy people, happy diners, people happy about their food, kids. Let me show you the shot. Nice waitress. That little guy was having a blast. So I'll let one of these play so you can see it in the kind of in its format, and then also what I want you to look at is think about also the music bed. I have a 15-second music bed for the second one, and when you have that very tight, it's got to be a good hook right away.
As Coloradans, we love the outdoors. That's why we offer patio seating at all 5 of our locations. Enjoy your mountain pie under the sun and sip your Colorado brew on our patio. Bojo's, Colorado-style pizza.
And post-production on 15 seconds is, you go through all your footage, find your favorite clips, find your moments, and just when you look through your footage, look for those, what pays off in 2 seconds, what lands in 3 seconds, what is that clear wow shot, And we're used to stringing these things together when you have 4 or 5 seconds for a shot, or you're piecing together a moment, so to speak, out of 6 or 7 shots. This, you just don't have the luxury for that, so you have to hit that moment and make sure that each shot in the piece says something. Because your client's going to get the final product, get the first draft, so to speak. Because it's 15 seconds, they're going to pour over every single shot list that you have, because they can see there's 6 shots, 5 shots that you're doing. They're going to pour over it and want to make sure that it's the right shot for the moment. With the voiceovers, I've gotten voiceovers where they've been longer than 15 seconds, and the client has asked, can I shorten them to 15 seconds? And in some cases you can, but most cases, if it's not written for the 15-second spot, it's just going to come off weird, or you're going to have to stretch a little, speed up something up, and it just doesn't work. And again, when the messages start piling on, you just will lose clarity of what the spot is. You're going to create the spot. We shoot everything in 4K 60 when we're shooting this kind of stuff. It's kind of like the hunt for the perfect B-roll shots, and you can edit, and most of of my clients want a high def 1080p, some will want a 4K version, but the reality is, right, you can conform, you can create it in this beautiful 4K shot. They're gonna love it, they're gonna watch it in their boardroom and in a conference room on a 60-inch TV, and it's gonna look wonderful. But the reality for most broadcasts, especially smaller regional broadcasts or cable companies, they're gonna want a broadcast format that's just gonna slaughter your compression. But just know that at the end of the day, you know, if it's being broadcast that's on the 720p, you know, it is gonna look like what it is. You know, it is gonna be broadcast now. The saving grace in my mind is that online looks pretty good. People's phones look pretty good. TV just doesn't, broadcast TV doesn't look great until you're doing national or a very specific local broadcast where they can take a nice HD signal, an HD package. So I'm going to show you broadcast requirements. This is broadcast requirements for a local cable company that does sports. But here you can see they want, you know, XD cam, MPEG-2. They want it at 60 frames. You know, it's 1280 by 720, 16 by 9s, and HD. You know what they want their reference sound to be. And if you need closed captioning, and it's super important that you match this just so it doesn't come back. I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something and got something out of these pieces. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Let me know what other topics you'd like to see. You know, I love being able to share what a successful agency like mine is able to do. So any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for watching.
You might not know who we are, but I'm sure you've seen some of our work. We help local get noticed. We're Connecto, a Longmont-based digital marketing agency. Our key services are local SEO, video production, and social media advertising. Local SEO is all about making sure that your customers can find you online when they're searching for services like yours. Connecto produces dynamic and engaging video content. Video is becoming an important part of social media. We put it all together and create social media ads that work. Our ads help your business cut through the social clutter and stop the scroll to get you noticed. Contact us to find out how we can help your business and learn why so many of your favorite local businesses trust Connecto.